Okay, so how about another unboxing video? Ordered something new from Samsung. Now, this is interesting. This is a SmartThings branded product, and it is designed for Samsung. Now, is it really even made by Samsung? I'm not sure, but it is sold on Samsung.com. And to be honest, I thought it was, made by Samsung, but the Samsung logo doesn't really appear anywhere on here, so I guess it's not. I guess it is SmartThings, which is a Samsung app. It'll be interesting to find out who makes this. Right there. Sercom Corporation. Yeah. So it's not made by Samsung, it's made for Samsung. Something I didn't realize at first, but at the end of the day, that doesn't make any difference to me. I ordered two of them because they're on sale. There are two for $100. Usually Samsung.com sells them for about $90 each. I got them just to do some very basic monitoring around the house, not for a security system, but just to see when mail comes, or if someone knocks on the door, I can pull up my phone and see who that may be. I actually got one yesterday and already have it set up. Okay, so there are indoor cameras. That's what they say. They're for indoor security system. They record video, obviously, and also record audio. And they have a speaker and allow you to speak through them, apparently, but that's not something that I'm using. What I did instead is I mounted them on my ceiling in the window looking outside. Originally, I was hoping to actually mount them outside and just run a cable, but there are a couple of things that I found out about them that stop me from doing that. I just don't think it's a good idea, as they are not designed to be used outside, and the manual that comes with it kind of confirms it. So let's see what comes in the box. You have your mounting hardware. You have your wall charger and the camera itself. Let's start with the camera. So it's pretty simple in its design. It looks okay. It looks very similar to most other cameras. There are cheaper cameras, there are more expensive cameras that look the same as this here. Some protective plastic. Now, a couple of things that are pretty cool about it is the fact that it is actually a 1080p video with HDR. Has person detection, which I will have a note about that in a few minutes, and 24 hours of free cloud storage. Okay. Now, a couple of things. The reason why I want to do this unboxing is whenever I was thinking about buying them, I looked up some reviews and interested in some specific details, and I didn't get them. For example, how long is the cable that comes with the camera? So again, it's not meant to be mounted outside, so you get just a regular wall brick and one of those old school proprietary chargers. And the cable itself is about 10 feet long, maybe 9-10 feet. I have it plugged into a wall under the window and then just running beside the window all the way to the middle at the top of the window, and it was just enough for that. Now, another thing that I was curious about but couldn't find any information online or in any of the reviews is about using it outside. Is it a good idea or not? Right away I assumed it's not any kind of weather seal or water resistant because it says everywhere that it's an indoor security camera. So I have an area under the roof that, where I could mount it, but when I received the camera and looked up the specifications, it says right here operating temperature is between 32 and 104 degrees. So it's not gonna do too well in the winter, I guess. I live in Pennsylvania and winters definitely get below 32. Now, as many electronic things, it may be okay or may just die on you. I don't know. But I just decided not to do that and stick with the indoor mounting, and it worked out pretty good. Okay, next to actual mounting. There's another thing that was not entirely clear to me, was can you mount it upside down? And how will that work? So I learned from the unit that I got yesterday that sure enough, you definitely can mount it upside down. This plate comes off. One of those screws goes through the middle, another one, I'm guessing, in this little smile. So then you can rotate it if you need it. And then once that's all done, the camera will just attach back to the plate, click in place, and be mounted upside down. And then, of course, the app allows you to flip the picture manually, so your picture is right side up. With the charging cord, it's kind of cool how it's organized. It goes through the leg of the camera or the mounting part and plugs in the bottom, and that's it, just like that. So that's kind of neat. Keeps it nice and organized. So can it be used outside? I would say no. It's not meant to be used outside, and I'm not going to be trying that myself. Next, can it be used with mobile devices, PCs, Android, or Apple? So I did just a little bit of testing. I couldn't find a way to get into the app from my PC. Of course, since it's designed for Samsung SmartThings, it works flawlessly with Samsung devices. I'm using it on my phone, which right now is recording the video. I can access it on my tablet. Let's give it a second. It's loading, and then you get your live image right now. So this is actually showing outside of my front door right now. A little bit of reflection in the glass here, but I can see everything I need to see. So I can see the street, my mailbox, my front door is right here. If anybody comes up, leaves a package or knocks on the door, I can see them too. And if someone messes with my car, I can see that as well. So of course it works great with Android. Now I was curious, will it work with Apple, iPhone, or iPad? And yeah, there is an app for that. There's SmartThings app. Pretty much the same exact experience. You just access it from your Apple device. Maybe even just a little bit quicker. Settings are identical. Sometimes there are differences, especially with Samsung products. For example, their wearables, like Galaxy Buds, they're pretty limited on iOS devices, but this one here, SmartThings, seem to give you exactly the same experience as you get on your Android device. So if we take a quick look at the settings, we have your resolution, live view resolution, HDR, you can turn it on or off, night vision. I turned mine off because There is some light outside even at night, and the night vision actually makes it harder to see than is without. You have a wide angle view. I didn't need that. Just makes the image just a little bit wider. Image flip, that's what I was talking about. I mounted the camera upside down, so I had to flip vertical and horizontal to make sure the picture is right side up. You have your motion detection zones, and also some audio settings, recording time. So while I'm in here, there are a couple of other things I can mention about the camera experience. Another thing that I heard some of the people say in reviews online, that the camera only allows recording of 10-second clips unless you pay for a premium service. So I'm not sure if that was the case before and they changed that, but I definitely have other things. It was set to 10 seconds by default, but I can change it to 30, 45, or 60 seconds. I have a feeling that some of those reviewers just didn't explore it long enough to find the settings here, but you can definitely change that to more than 10 seconds per clip for free. And it just records in the cloud for the past 24 hours. Allows you to download those videos to your phone if you want to save some, and also allows you to manually record videos if you need to do that. So when I'm looking at the live view right now, if I hit the little camera, it just starts recording that 30 seconds. You can stop at any time. And then right in my home page, I have a list of the clips that it's been recording. So that's the last one that we just did, of a few seconds long. And another thing that I noticed is the audio. It always seems to be recording audio, and I couldn't find a setting to disable audio recording. That's not something that I want, to be honest. But I don't know if it actually does or not. So I can access it and just listen to it live here. But I can't really turn it off, especially when it records. Another thing, problem kind of creates, not really a problem, but annoyance, is in your activity feed, it gives you a lot of sound detected notifications and motion detected. Motion detected, person detected, those are okay for the most part. A sound detected, to me, is useless because I'm recording what's going on outside my house. And it still picks up every time something's happening inside. My dog's barking or kids making noise. It just records all those notifications here in activity. It just kind of fills it up with junk. Okay. And as far as video quality, let me go ahead and just plug in a couple of video clips right here. So here's a day. I'll give it a few seconds. And here's what it looks like at night. Obviously, the quality is worse at night. It's doing its best, but it's still good enough to see if anyone is messing around outside your house. And like I mentioned earlier, and we saw in settings, there is a night mode or night vision mode, which just kind of turns it black and white and brightens, and then you can see what's going on. That's probably best to use inside. In my experience, wasn't too great to use outside. Okay, so my final thoughts: if you can find a good deal on them, like $99 for 2 cameras, I'd say it's a pretty good deal, especially if you're a Samsung user and you use a SmartThings app for other things. It's kind of a no-brainer. If you're just looking for a good camera for your house to monitor your pets or kids, it's also a really good deal. If you're looking for something to mount outside for more of a security system monitoring, this is probably not quite it. just because it's not meant to be used outside. It probably won't survive a winter or two if you live in a climate with real season changes. One other thing I almost forgot to mention is whenever it's plugged in and just sitting there monitoring, it runs a little bit warm. The whole camera, it's kind of warm to the touch. I don't think it's a problem, but just something I figured I'll mention. That's pretty much all I have to say about the SmartThings camera made for Samsung. And thank you so much for watching.